guys, so today's video is going to be a quick copper haul. I have to admit I wasn't totally into copper when the first trend started. I don't know, I wasn't that into it, but then once Target and Kmart started stocking it, I totally couldn't get enough of it. So I've kind of accumulated a whole bunch of stuff that's kind of sitting around my room waiting to be hauled. So I figured I would show you guys the pieces that I've gotten because they are super duper cheap. Everything in this video will have costed me less than $20, which I think is great for homewares. You know, you can always find stores that have really nice stuff, but then the homewares are really expensive. So I guess this is kind of homewares on a budget, if that makes sense. So I'll get into it. I'm pretty sure I've already shown you guys this basket here. This is kind of what started the whole copper craze. I got this for my birthday off my best friend Jess. She got it from Kmart. I believe these are only $12 or something. Like I said, everything's under $20, so I may not remember exactly, but I think this was around $12. But yeah, this is exactly the piece that started the whole copper craze. So I figured I'd throw this in here to kind of show you guys what got me started. And then the next copper thing that I decided to pick out was this copper clock. So this is also from Kmart. This was really cheap as well. Again, I can't remember the exact price, under $20, which I think is just amazing, but it's just a plain kind of clock. Doesn't have any numbers on it, which bothers me. I like clocks that have numbers, but still I couldn't pass this one up. So it's just got the plain white face with black arms and little strokes for the time, but on the edge, and you won't be able to tell too much in the video, but it has a copper kind of edging. I think this is really cool. Like, it's not too much copper, it's not in your face, it just has that little trim around the edge, and I really like it because it's kind of fancy and simple at the same time. So I grabbed that copper clock. Like I said, it was really cheap. I think it was like $12, $15, something like that. Super cheap. And then after that purchase, I decided to make this one here, which is kind of a cult favorite. When I say cult favorite, I mean if you're someone who likes Kmart and you shop at Kmart a lot like me, this is an item that everyone goes for and it's always out of stock. So when I saw it, I grabbed it. So it's just a fairly large frame. I'd say it's pretty close to an A3 size, but it has a really nice copper foil quote that I really loved. So it says, "A day without laughter is a day wasted," which I think is a really nice message. But even just the copper tone of it, I think it's really nice, and the fact that it's reflective, and I don't know, I just thought this looked a lot more expensive than it costs. Again, I think this was like around $12 or something. Again, super cheap. It just has a plain black frame, which is really simple. Again, it's kind of like that clock. It has that dressy factor, but it's not too much in your face. So I really like this. Again, it's from Kmart. Can't remember the exact price of all these things, but you get the point. Now for my next purchase, this is something that I hunted down for, I would say, 4 months. So like I said with that frame, it's something that everyone hunts down, and as soon as it goes on the shelf, it sells out within like an hour. It's one of those items that you can never get your hands on, but I finally did after like 4 months of looking. I'm so happy. So it's these geometric copper candle holders, which some of you will be like, oh my god, these are so damn hard to find. I have not seen them since I bought them, and they just fly off the shelf, like I said. These, I remember the price of them, they're only $7 each, and because I had such a hard time finding them, I decided to grab two. Originally I just wanted one, but I grabbed two. Ooh, and I nearly broke it. But yeah, I grabbed two just because they were there. I might as well grab them while they're there. But yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but they are just a geometric design. They look really nice. I actually plan on using one for a candle and another to put some fake flowers in, so fake white flowers. I've seen a few people do that on Instagram, and I think it looks really nice. Again, for $7, this is insane. Like, I've seen this similar kind of design or similar thing in other homeware stores for like $30 or $40. So I think that's why these fly out so quickly, because they're only $7 and they just look so good. So I cannot wait to have these out in my house when I get a house and just have these on display, because I think they are so pretty. So those are probably my most prized copper purchase. This is the one thing that I was hunting down for so long, so I'm so glad I got it. If you live in the Newcastle area also, I know some of you do live in Newcastle near me, I got these at the Waratah Kmart, and they normally have them in stock a lot because I see a lot of people hauling them, but I never get to get them myself. But yeah, if you're after these, go to Waratah because they always have them apparently. Next thing was kind of an impulse buy. I'll be honest, I thought this was a colander, and then when I read the tag it says that it's a fruit bowl, so it was a little bit embarrassing because in the store I shouted, "Oh my god, a copper colander!" and it's a fruit bowl. But anyways, it does look like a colander, right? Like, I'm not crazy. Anyways, yeah, so it's a copper fruit bowl. Again, I wasn't really hunting this down. I just kind of saw it on the way in. I was like, you know what? I really like that. It would look good in the kitchen just to add a little bit of warmth and pizzazz, and I don't know. I thought it was cool, and this was, pardon me. And this was only $7. So again, super, super cheap homewares. Like, it's not something that I'm going to be like, oh no, I spent so much money. Okay, so I actually have one more copper thing to show you guys that I got from Target. But really quickly, I want to show you some other homeware pieces that I got from Kmart. Again, I love Kmart. I just honestly cannot get enough of the stuff. So I grabbed two random things. First thing is this quilt here. Now this probably doesn't look like much just sitting here. I follow a few of the Kmart hack and Kmart DIY Instagrams, and a lot of people have bought this quilt and have styled it with copper and other different kind of marble patterns and everything, and it looks really, really good. This quilt here I think was called the Dexter, and it was only $10 for a queen size. So, you know, it's not something that I'm gonna be like, oh no, so much money. Like, it's just so cheap. So that's what it looks like, and I know it doesn't look like much, but I've seen this styled in a couple of bedrooms and I think it looks really, really nice. So I've got it kind of as a backup quilt cover set kind of thing. So if I ever want to change up the one that we have already, I can change into this, and I think it looks really cool. Again, only $10, so I figured I would grab it. So that one's the Dexter quilt cover. And then the last thing from Kmart, I don't actually think I'm going to be able to show it in the frame of the video. It's too big. I actually got two canvases. They're the exact same pattern. They're a watercolor pattern, and I'll show you in a second. But I got two of them because what I plan on doing is having them side by side, but turning one of them so they look like two different pieces of artwork because the splotches are in different places. So that's kind of my little hack, because I've always wanted big watercolor artwork on a wall, but I don't want things that are identical. So I've bought the same thing that is identical, but I'm just going to turn one on its side so it looks a bit different. But this is it here. Again, like I said, you are not going to see all of it. You're probably mostly going to see my light. But this is it here. I've been using this for a lot of my Instagram backgrounds actually. I think it looks really cool. But yeah, like I said, I bought two of these. I think they were like $16 each, so altogether $32, and you get a wall of art that looks so much more expensive than it is. Okay, and now for my little purchase from Target. I only grabbed one thing. Target does have a range of copper products. They're not as cheap as Kmart, but they do have a new range. I think it's called the Lisa T range or something. Normally Target has a lot of their stuff in stock, so they're pretty good with their stocking, but that being said, I haven't seen this since I bought it, so you might have to be quick again with Target to grab these things if you do see them, because chances are if you go back to get it, it'll be gone. So it's this pot here. Now you guys have already seen this on my Instagram possibly, but I have an orchid in it. This is a real planted orchid, but it's just this copper plain pot. Now this doesn't look too special in the store. When I saw it I was like, it's kind of boring. But then I realized once you put a really nice flower in it like this, it looks really, really expensive. And I know that sounds really weird, but it looks like an expensive kind of display. I think it looks so, so nice. This pot was only, I think, $9. I think the price is still on it. Yeah, it's $15, sorry. So this pot was $15, which isn't too bad. Like, it's kind of expensive for just a cheap pot. But that being said, it looks really, really good. Well, I think so anyways. So I think I'm pretty well sold with all of my copper purchases. I don't think I need any more, otherwise I'll have a copper house soon. But yeah, that was everything that I wanted to show you guys in terms of my recent copper homewares that I've bought. If you know of any kind of cheap stores that are selling this kind of range, let me know, because I love collecting homewares. It's one of my favorite things to look at and purchase. So let me know if you know any stores. But yeah, that was pretty much everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this copper homeware haul, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.